if any guys had a girl flake out on a date, even if you set it up and you thought, oh, she's going to show up on this date. Well, even if you set up the date in the right way, when you're free next week or whatever, and you get her to agree to a date Thursday, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay, I'm going to take you out for drinks. That's pretty solid already. But to go a whole nother layer, I like to add something like, but you're responsible for one thing. Now, in my actual course, my VIP membership, I move it to three things, and I really make kind of women work for these little pieces about what she's going to have to do, what she's going to be responsible for on a date. But to keep it simple, because you have to have a little more balls to, do something like wear a purple ribbon in your hair. I like to do all sorts of random stuff just because I got bored with just asking women out the generic, boring way anyway. I just pushed it to see how far I could go. But if we're going to go to drinks and I say you're responsible for one thing, again, you're not going to try to make it so much work that the girl's going to want to flake on you. But when I say, yeah, I got you, I'll take you out for drinks. However, you're responsible for one thing and you wait for her to respond. And I say, bring 4 quarters. Now, right there, if I just stop there, now it's going to go farther, but if I just stop there, right, Czar? If I say bring 4 quarters, it's a very low effort for her. Anyone can find 4 quarters. So in your mind already, Czar, what are you thinking we might be doing?
Going to the arcade, right? Or playing a video game with 4 quarters.
Yep, or playing pool, and we need a couple quarters for the pool. So again, already there's some mystery, but it's kind of easy mystery. She can probably guess. However, I frame it in such a way that it adds double mystery, like Inception. It's like a mystery inside of a mystery. I say, bring 4 quarters, and then I literally have like a period, and I say, not, in all caps, not a dollar bill. It has to be 4 quarters. And I say it exactly like that. So even though she might go, oh, 4 quarters, we're going to play a game, I can bring a dollar bill. Now, when I say you can't bring a dollar bill, it has to be 4 quarters. Even though she can still allude to what we might be doing, so many women have told me before we go on a date, she's like, I was talking with all my girlfriends. We were trying to figure out where you're going to take me. What are we going to do? Are we going to go to arcade? All this. But just the way that I set that up and phrased it, she has all this wondering and anticipation about the date that her chances of flaking are so much less than just, I'm going to drinks with you or whatever, because now she's going, what do I need 4 quarters for? And it can't be a dollar bill. Why does it have to be 4 quarters? And she's having all this fun and curiosity that she's going to want to see this out. She's going to want to show up on this date just to figure out what were those 4 quarters for. And another example I do, and again, this one's, maybe a little bit more on the ballsy side, but it's a lot less ballsy than some of the other things I do, is I'll say something like, yeah, I'll take you out for drinks, whatever, but you're responsible for one thing. What's that? Bring a bag of Skittles. Now, I don't actually say bring a bag of Skittles. I say bring a purple bag of Skittles. And now she's going, wait, why do I need Skittles on this date? Why do I need purple Skittles on this date? And what are we going to do on this date? What's going to actually happen? She shows up on the date. I had a girl, actually, I did this wrong the first time. I said it has to be a king size bag of purple Skittles. And I had a girl that was driving from an hour and a half away, and she goes, oh, you're so frustrating when she showed up on the date. She goes, I had to stop at 3 gas stations. Guess what? They don't make king size purple Skittle bags or whatever. So that's why I now just say a bag of purple Skittles or whatever. But she drove to 3 gas stations. She shows up. She gives me the Skittles. She goes, why did I need these Skittles? And I was like, oh, that's my favorite candy. Thank you. I go, that was sweet of you to bring. And she gives me the Skittles, and then she looks at me and she punches me. And already there's this built up comfort that we have. And she's laughing. She's like, that's all I need the Skittles for, is to give them to you for whatever. And it starts out the date in such a better way. But again, that whole curiosity, that whole mystery keeps her engaged to where she wants to go on that date, rather than, like we said, women's minds will always wander. They're going to wander either way. So if you don't give her something to wonder about, she's going to be wondering about the negative things. Is this guy going to be awkward? Is this guy, is he going to be a psycho? Is he going to be a killer? All those, she's going to have natural wondering anyway. So I just frame it in such a way, and I lead it to where I'm the one that is making her wonder. And I'm giving it something that she can wonder about and be excited about the date. But the whole point is she's excited about the date, figuring out what are we going to do on this date, rather than, do I even want to go on this date? I feel a little bloated today. I could just cancel on this guy. But wait, I won't figure out what those 4 quarters are for. Oh, I won't figure out what this bag of purple Skittles is for. I already picked it up. Now what am I gonna do with this? I better go on this date now.
I'm gonna steal that. I love that. I'm gonna
Yeah,
definitely steal that. I'm gonna steal that, especially the candy line.
Yeah.
I could see myself telling the girl, and I definitely will. Oh, before our date, just promise me you'll do one thing. Oh, what's that? Bring me a Snickers bar. Right? Bring me a Snickers or bring me a Twix bar. And then she's gonna go like, okay, I brought you the Snickers bar. What did you need it for? I'm gonna grab it and say, it's my favorite chocolate bar.
Exactly. And it will work wonders for you when you add that just for securing a date. When you do these other things right and you're setting up a date with a woman, there's a great chance that she's going to show up, just because most guys don't ask the date in the right way. They're asking the Thursday, Friday, whatever, getting rejected, all that. They're showing they're available. But when you set it up in such a way, but then you go that next layer, it adds so much to that from all of the other dates she's been on. And every girl, guys, I hate to admit this to you or burst your bubble, every girl's going on dates. She's been on a lot of dates. So the way that you frame it in such a way that you're setting up differently, even though it's still a drinks and playing pool, but she brought the quarters, even though it's the same date she might have been on, the way that you set it up and frame it is in a way she hasn't heard before. So she's curious and excited. She's anticipating what's going to happen on this date.
Yeah, so I would text the girl, right, when I confirm the date. Oh, and before you get there, bring me a Snickers bar with a wink face. And don't tell her why. Not what it does is when she shows up on the date with that Snickers bar, it shows her you're playful, you're lighthearted. It breaks the ice. Okay?
Yeah.
She doesn't see you as that much of a threat. She sees you're being playful. Oh, thank you. That's one of my favorite chocolate bars.
Yeah,
Right?
and I would say even just switching that up just with 1 or 2 words would even make it better. Instead of bring me a Snickers bar, we need a Snickers bar. We need a Snickers bar. Now she might think, what do we need this for? Maybe he knows the bartender loves Snickers. He's gonna give it to the bartender. But when you say it's like we need it, because some girls will even come to me with their bag of Skittles and be like, I don't know, I thought we might play poker or something for Skittles or whatever. Again, when it's framed in such a way where it's like, oh, we need this, or this is for the date, then she's way more likely to do it, rather than just, hey, stop by the store and grab me a Snickers bar. It's like, we need a Snickers bar. You're responsible for that. And then she's wondering why. What are we going to do with this? Is it going to show me a magic trick with the Snickers bar? I don't know. But when you frame it in that little way, that little extra piece of curiosity, again, is different than all the other dates she's been on. It might sound stupid to you guys, but trust me, I've been on a million bazillion dates, and a lot of these were with women I met on online dating for the first time we met. So adding this extra allure to it makes women very curious and want to see it out.
I'd even take it one step further now. We need a Twix bar. Save it for at the end of the date, pull it out of your pocket, break it in half, give her one, you take the other one. And it's a little moment that I think you guys share together. So if you keep dating, you can bring that up. It's a great memory to have that you guys split the Twix. But I know it sounds cheesy, but trust me, guys, you stand out from 99% of the other men as you not being boring, interesting, creative, fun, playful, mysterious. No guy's ever asked me that before. So it's a little moment you guys share together, but do it in a smooth, charming way.
Yeah, exactly. I think Twix is a lot better than Snickers just for that one-on-one. There's 2 bars here. There might be something with this, or that's why I do Skittles. Skittles is not actually my favorite candy, but even if you said king size bag of Skittles and you don't tell her what color, king size, now she's going, why do we need so many Skittles? And now she's going to be thinking, what are we going to do with these Skittles? Is he going to, what are we going to work with these Skittles? Because there's more than just that one Snickers bar. Now has this curiosity about what it's for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a very good one.
This is Sparta!